what's up everyone? TJ here. In this video, I'm joined by Mike Basher, editor for Snowboard Magazine and fellow board enthusiast, has also tested hundreds of boards over the years. And in this video, we're gonna talk about the Neversummer Valhalla. Let's get into it. All right, so we were able to spend some time on this board out at Arapahoe Basin late last season, as well as in Mammoth. It's more of a free ride focused board on the Neversummer lineup, and this thing is loaded with tech. So let's run through that real quick. So first of all, it is a directional snowboard, so you're gonna find a directional outline as well as a significant setback, so a 1-inch setback or about 25 millimeters, as well as a slight taper, so 7 millimeters of taper in this snowboard, narrowing the tail just a little bit. It does have a new camber profile from Neversummer. It's called their Triple Camber Fusion profile. So gonna be a little bit more energetic and a little bit more locked in than what you might be familiar with from Neversummer, but still overall does have a rocker dominant profile. We'll get into that more here a little bit later in the video. But it has a lot of the other staple tech from Neversummer as well, including their Power Grip side cut to give you a little bit of help on those more firm or icy conditions, as well as quite a bit of carbon built into this snowboard. I think that's a big standout. There's a full carbon web layer through the entire snowboard, really giving this thing more energy and more response torsionally. You're gonna find multiple dampening technologies in this snowboard, as well as a sintered sidewall and sintered base. So that's a harder material that's known to be more durable compared to an extruded base, but you do want to make sure to wax this board regularly to maintain a nice fast feel out there. And I do want to note that the base material that Neversummer uses is noticeably more durable than a lot of boards on the market. It's a very solid base and it's very fast as well. Yeah, that's going to be a quick tech breakdown. Let's get Mike in the conversation and talk about how this thing felt out there making some turns at A Basin.
Well, spoiler alert, TJ, I did get this board out on some East Coast Bulletproof over the winter, and the side cut absolutely sliced through the ice, and it held an edge like no other out there.
Dude, I'm glad to hear that, man, because I feel like both A Basin and Mammoth, when I rode this thing, it was pretty mushy, a little bit late season kind of snow, pretty slushy. So I didn't really get to test out the firm snow edge hold, but one of the biggest standouts for me is the stability you're gonna find in this thing. This thing is like, it's kind of like a missile. Like it's a beast. It wants to go fast, and it comes through with some great stability. It's a powerful board.
Yeah, so it's got pre-tension fiberglass in it, so it's like kind of always there, like ready to unload. And then when you have the triple camber profile, that's like positive in the waist and then positive underfoot, but overall, like you pointed out, it's reverse camber throughout. It's just like, it's friendly and loose when you got it flat base and when you get up on the tip and tail a little bit to press it, but that energy kicks in right away and this thing just wants to go.
Yeah, I think, you know, the triple camber profile is definitely a very interesting part of this snowboard that is going to be a very noticeable part of the feel. And I think one of the big takeaways for me, really two things with the triple camber is it does want to track a little bit straighter compared to the traditional rocker camber from Neversummer, but still has that quicker, easier turn initiation with the overall rocker profile. And it does hold more tension. And with this board being pretty stiff, I think that was something that's very noticeable as well. Like you can kind of lean back to the end of that reverse camber and you know, get that nose lift a little bit, or you know, get in a nose press and lift the tail a little bit. But after that first, just kind of get into the end of the profile, it stiffens up right away and it holds a lot of tension and really comes through with a lot of power and stability, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's one of those boards that if you're messing around in the park or buttering around, you're like, oh, it gets up, I can press really easily for a couple inches, and then it just stops and holds you right in place. So in a way, it's really good for like hard landings, or when you start to go back seat, this board does not wash out at all. It's there every step of the way underneath your feet, which is pretty cool.
100%, and I think that comes through with carving as well. You know, I experienced more like chundery kind of snow conditions that pushes back a little bit more. So I feel like that power really came in handy, and really did not put a dent in what this snowboard is able to do. It just powered right through those conditions. It feels right at home when you open it up, that's for sure. It's not going to be lacking in stability or get overpowered easily at all.
Yeah, I vividly remember when we got to the bottom of the run right after you mounted this thing up and you were just like, this thing is so gnarly. It's an interesting board in that it's not so stiff torsionally wise where you're just holding on for dear life. It's actually pretty nimble still, but tip to tail flex, it's loose, then it activates super quick and is just there right when you need it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, this board is going to have your back, whether you're ripping groomers, ripping through crud, getting in the trees, getting in the alpine, taking it out on some deeper days as well. This is a board that you can be confident with. So it does have that free ride versatility to it. And I think it's worth noting here as well that at the size we rode, so we rode a 156, more of a mid-wide kind of shape. So at that size, you're going to find a 25.9 centimeter waist. Going to be conducive to, you know, carving with more aggressive edge angles if you're into Euro carves and stuff like that. Going to help eliminate heel and toe drag in slushier snow conditions where you're trenching out a little bit more. And does have a pretty responsive side cut as well, averaged out around 7.2 meters. So it's a pretty quick turning snowboard as well.
It gives you the support like a board that you have to manhandle, but it doesn't ride like a board that you have to manhandle. And I think that's because of the camber profile. So it's super stiff, but initially it's not. And that's not a bad thing. It's an aggressive snowboard that is way more friendly than any other aggressive snowboard I've ever ridden.
Yeah, man, I agree. If you're looking for that stiffer, powerful snowboard that's gonna have your back at high speeds, gonna be a ripping carver with plenty of stability, something you can take out on deep days as well, and just comes through with aggressive performance, like something you can hit with an aggressive riding style, it's gonna have your back, but still manageable when you're initiating things thanks to that camber profile. The Valhalla is going to be a good one to check out. It's definitely very unique, really cool to see Never Summer start making boards with this new camber profile. If you're looking for something like that, check this one out. We're going to have it linked down in the description below this video. And it's also going to be in Snowboard Mag's Platinum Picks this year. So if you want to check that out, we'll have the magazine linked down in the description as well. Leave any questions for us down in the comments. Drop a like before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I appreciate all you guys. Thanks for watching today, and we'll see you in a new one next time.